Rich Jewish people hide things, and it's not what you think. They don't hide their money in tax havens. They don't hide illegal secrets. They hide something far more powerful. They hide 5 things that you show everyone around you. 5 things you proudly display every single day without realizing that's exactly what's keeping you broke. While you show, they hide. While you expose, they protect. And that difference explains why they build generational wealth while you stay stuck. Today, I'm going to reveal the 5 things rich Jewish people never show. 5 secrets of discretion passed down from generation to generation. 5 habits that protect their wealth, habits you're probably violating every single day. This is what rich Jewish people hide and what you keep showing. And pay very close attention to the 4th thing on this list. It's the most counterintuitive of all. It's the one almost everyone shows without thinking. And it's the one that destroys the most wealth and the most relationships. When you understand why Jewish people hide it, you will never show it again. But before we go any further, do me a favor. If you've ever shown something you shouldn't have, type the word discreet in the comments right now. I want to know how many of you have made at least one of these mistakes. And if this feels like something someone you know needs to hear, share this video with them right now. It might change their life. The first thing rich Jewish people never show, their real wealth. You show everything: the new car, the new apartment, the luxury vacation, the designer clothes. You post on social media, you tell your friends. You want everyone to know you're doing well. Rich Jewish people do the exact opposite. They hide their wealth deliberately, systematically. The Talmud teaches, a blessing only rests upon that which is hidden from the eye. This isn't superstition. It's deep wisdom built on thousands of years of observation. When you show your wealth, you attract 3 destructive things. First, envy. People who once saw you as a friend begin to see you as a rival. They don't celebrate your success, they resent it. And resentment destroys relationships. Second, demands. Suddenly everyone needs your help. Distant cousins reappear. Childhood friends reach out, not because they love you, but because they want something. Third, predators. People who want to sell you bad investments. People who want to scam you. People who see you as a target. Rich Jewish people avoid all 3 of these threats by staying invisible. Let me tell you a true story. A Jewish businessman in my community owns several properties. His net worth is well over $10 million. But if you passed him on the street, you would never know it. He wears simple clothes. He drives an ordinary car. His home is comfortable, but not flashy. His neighbors think he's a modest shopkeeper. One day I asked him why he lived that way when he could afford so much more. He told me, "Rabbi, when people don't know what I have, they treat me normally. They're my friends because of who I am, not what I have. And nobody comes asking for money or trying to manipulate me. My discretion is my protection." You do the opposite. You earn a little more and you want the whole world to know. You buy status symbols before you're even wealthy. You show off to impress and then wonder why you attract the wrong people, why your relationships get complicated, why you always feel used. The Talmud says, whoever displays his wealth invites thieves into his home. Starting today, hide what you have. Live below your visible means. Let people underestimate you. That is protection, not weakness. The second thing rich Jewish people never show, their plans before they execute them. You have an idea. You get excited. You want to tell everyone. You post on social media. You announce your big plans. You want encouragement, congratulations, validation. Rich Jewish people work in silence. They never talk about what they're going to do, only about what they've already done. The Talmud warns, do not speak of the harvest before it is in the barn. Why does this rule matter so much? First, talking about your plans gives you premature satisfaction. Your brain receives a reward just for speaking. And that reward kills your motivation to actually follow through. You feel like you've accomplished something when you've done absolutely nothing. Second, talking exposes your plans to criticism. People will tell you why it won't work. They'll plant seeds of doubt. They'll project their own fears onto you, and those negative voices will take root in your head. Third, talking attracts negative energy. In Jewish tradition, we call it ayin hara, the recognition that other people's negativity can affect your plans. Their jealousy, their doubt, their unconscious desire to see you fail. Let me give you a concrete example. Two men want to launch the same type of business. The first tells everyone, his family, his friends, his social media followers. He gets likes, comments, encouragement, he feels great. But he also gets criticism, doubt, warnings. And slowly, those negative voices paralyze him. 6 months later, he still hasn't launched anything. The second tells no one, not even his wife at first. He works in silence. He tests, he fails, he adjusts. Nobody knows, nobody criticizes, nobody doubts on his behalf. 6 months later, he launches. His business works, and only then does he announce it. The first got validation without action. The second got action without validation. The Talmud says, "Let your actions exceed your words, but your words exceed your actions." You announce more than you accomplish, and that is exactly why you're not moving forward. Starting today, close your mouth and open your hands. Work in silence. Only talk about your plans once they're already done. Let your results speak for you. The third thing rich Jewish people never show, their generosity. This one might surprise you. Rich Jewish people give enormously. Charity, tzedakah, is a sacred obligation in Jewish tradition. They often give 10% or more of their income. But they never show it. They give in secret, anonymously whenever possible. The Talmud teaches the highest form of charity is when the giver does not know the receiver, and the receiver does not know the giver. When you give, you want people to know. You post on social media. You tell your friends. You wait for recognition, admiration, compliments on your generosity. Rich Jewish people see that as a corruption of the act of giving. Why? First, when you give to be seen, you're not really giving. You're buying admiration. You're trading your money for an image. That's not generosity anymore. It's personal branding. Second, showing your generosity humiliates the person who receives it. You put them in a position of public dependency. You steal their dignity in exchange for your glory. Third, public generosity attracts opportunists. Suddenly, everyone knows you give, and everyone wants a piece. There's a famous story in Jewish tradition. A wealthy man secretly gave money to poor families in his town. Every night, he slipped envelopes under their doors. Nobody knew it was him. One day, someone saw him. The news spread. Suddenly, he was celebrated as the great benefactor of the village. But something changed. Now that he was giving publicly, he felt an unhealthy pride. He was giving to be admired, no longer simply to help. And the families who received felt uncomfortable, forced to thank him publicly, humiliated by their visible dependency. He said later, "When I gave in secret, I gave love. When I started giving in public, I only gave pride." The Talmud says, "Whoever gives in secret is greater than Moses himself." You turn every act of generosity into a performance. You want applause for your kindness. And in doing so, you destroy the purity of your gesture. Starting today, give in secret. Help without announcing it. Be generous without witnesses. That is true generosity, the kind that transforms your soul and attracts real blessings. The fourth thing rich Jewish people never show, this is where everything changes. This is something you show constantly on social media to your friends, your family, your coworkers. You think it's normal. You think it's human. You think it builds connection. But rich Jewish people never do it. And this difference may be the most important of all. Rich Jewish people never show their problems. The Talmud says, "Do not reveal your wounds to one who has no medicine to heal them." You tell your problems to everyone. Your financial struggles, your relationship issues, your conflicts at work, your anxiety, your failures. You post your frustrations online. You vent to your coworkers. You share your worries with anyone who will listen. You think it relieves you. You think it creates empathy. You think people will help. But look at what's really happening. First, showing your problems defines you by your problems. People start seeing you as someone who has problems, not someone who succeeds, not someone who is strong, just someone who is problematic. Second, very few people can actually help you. Most can only listen. And listening without helping doesn't solve anything. It just makes you relive the problem over and over again. Third, and this is the most dangerous part, some people are secretly glad about your problems. They'll never tell you, but your struggles reassure them. They feel better knowing things aren't going well for you. They quietly enjoy your pain. Rich Jewish people understand this reality. They keep their problems to themselves. They only share them with people they trust completely, people who can actually help. Let me share a story that was told to me in confidence. A Jewish entrepreneur was going through the worst period of his life. His business was on the verge of bankruptcy. His marriage was in crisis. His health was declining. Nobody knew. On the outside, he remained the same, calm, confident, smiling. He kept working, kept looking for solutions, kept fighting. He confided in only two people, his rabbi and a childhood friend who had been through similar struggles. 2 years later, he had saved his business, rebuilt his marriage, and recovered his health. One day, he explained to me why he hadn't shown anything. If I had shown my problems, my clients would have lost confidence in me. My suppliers would have demanded immediate payment. My competitors would have attacked. My employees would have panicked. One problem would have become 10 problems. By staying silent, I kept control. I was able to solve my difficulties without the whole world getting involved. The Talmud teaches, your enemy must never know your weakness. And in this world, you have more enemies than you realize. You serve your weaknesses up on a silver platter. You show exactly where to strike. And then you wonder why people treat you badly. Starting today, keep your problems to yourself. Share them only with people you trust completely, people who can genuinely help. Stay strong in public. Cry in private if you need to cry. But never give anyone the weapon to destroy you. The fifth thing rich Jewish people never show, their real income. You talk about your salary. You compare with coworkers. You tell people how much you made on an investment. You show off your earnings. Rich Jewish people never reveal how much they make. Never. To anyone. Not even to close family sometimes. The Talmud says, whoever reveals his income reveals his vulnerability. Why such absolute discretion? First, revealing your income creates expectations. If people know how much you earn, they expect you to spend accordingly, to pay more at restaurants, to give more expensive gifts, to be more financially generous. You become a prisoner of their perception. Second, revealing your income invites comparison. Those who earn less resent you. Those who earn more look down on you. You can't win. Third, revealing your income makes you predictable. People know what you can do, what you can afford, what you've probably saved. You lose every advantage in life's negotiations. There's a saying in Jewish families, even your brother doesn't need to know what you earn. It's not a lack of trust, it's wisdom, because money changes relationships, because numbers create judgment, because discretion protects everyone. Let me give you a concrete example. Two brothers. One earns $10,000 a month. The other earns $3,000. If both know what the other makes, the relationship changes. The first feels guilty or superior. The second feels jealous or inferior. Every gift gets weighed. Every invitation gets complicated. Money settles between them like an invisible wall. Now imagine neither one knows what the other earns. They treat each other as equals. They share moments without calculating. Their relationship stays pure. Rich Jewish people understand this instinctively. They never talk numbers. Never how much they earned, never what their house is worth, never how much they have in the bank. And that's exactly why their family and friendship bonds stay strong, generation after generation. You share everything: your salary, your bonuses, your investments, your debts sometimes. And you wonder why your relationships are complicated, why people judge you, why you always feel compared. The Talmud teaches 3 things must remain hidden to bear their fruit: the seed, the pregnancy, and income. Starting today, never tell anyone what you earn. Whether you make little or a lot, keep that number to yourself. It's your private life. It's your protection. It's your freedom. Let's recap the 5 things rich Jewish people never show. First, their real wealth. They live discreetly to avoid envy, demands, and predators. You display everything and attract problems. Second, their plans before executing them. They work in silence and speak afterward. You announce everything and end up doing nothing. Third, their generosity. They give in secret to preserve the purity of the act. You turn every donation into a performance for your ego. Fourth, their problems. They keep their difficulties to themselves and only share with those who can truly help. You expose your weaknesses to the entire world. Fifth, their real income. They never discuss numbers to protect their relationships and their freedom. You share everything and build invisible walls. These 5 rules of discretion have protected Jewish wealth for thousands of years. They've allowed families to build fortunes without attracting destruction, to maintain healthy relationships despite financial differences, to survive persecution while keeping their resources hidden. Discretion is a superpower. You live in a world that pushes you to show everything. Social media encourages you to expose your life. Society tells you that showing is existing, that if you don't share, you're missing out. That is a lie. A lie that makes the people who own the platforms rich and makes the people who use them poorer. Rich Jewish people never fell into that trap. They remain invisible in a world of exhibitionism. They keep their secrets in a world of forced transparency, and that is exactly why they thrive while others struggle. Now you know their secret of discretion. You know what they hide. You know why they hide it. The question is, will you keep showing everything, or will you start protecting what truly matters? Choose just one of these 5 things, the one you show the most, the one causing you the most problems, and decide to hide it starting today. You don't need to change everything at once. One change, one new habit of discretion, and watch what transforms in your life. But Talmud promises, whoever guards his secrets guards his fortune. Guard your secrets, guard your fortune. Shalom, and may the Eternal bless every silence you choose from this day forward. Before you go, tell me in the comments, which of these 5 things do you show the most? Your wealth, your plans, your generosity, your problems, or your income? Just drop the number, 1 through 5. I read every single comment. If this video spoke to you, hit that like button right now. Every like tells me to keep sharing this wisdom with you. And subscribe, because what's coming in the next videos will completely change the way you see money and relationships. Shalom, and I'll see you in the next one.